Nothing in this recording is intended as investment advice, and the people in this recording may hold positions in the companies they talk about. Do not make any investment based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
Hello and welcome to the Oracle Power Q2 shareholder questions with Naheed Memon, who's CEO at Oracle Power. How are you today, Naheed?
Hi, Zach. I'm very well, thank you.
Question number one, can you provide an update on the Thar coal power plant and solar projects?
Yeah, I think the last quarter of last year, I believe, we had announced a lot of progress on a buyback arrangement for the coal to power plant that we had entered into with the largest distributor in Pakistan, with the government of Sindh also being a party to it, etc. So that is sort of our plan to execute that as we proceed. And the other good news that has come about recently, which some people have even pointed out, and there was a lot of press around it, is that, and we can confirm this, that the Chinese have agreed to convert all the coal power plants which run on imported coal to local coal, which basically means that the demand for Thar coal would increase potentially. With this additional sort of incentive, there seems to be a greater push now to mobilize our CPEC coal to power plant. However, the CPEC financing for this plant needs to be sanctioned, and we are still awaiting a meeting with respect to that. That's the first thing. And with respect to the solar project, of course, that is, on the Thar coal Block 6 land. And the situation there also depends upon the buyback. And we are engaged once again with K Electric, etc. And as soon as we find a buyer for the solar plant on that particular leased land, the coal mining leased land, then we can also proceed with that. Having said that, Power China, who are our technical partners and would probably also invest in the project, have worked on the preliminary feasibilities, etc. And very soon we should be able to proceed further on the development of that solar project as well. But as I said, buyback is key, and that's what we're working on currently.
Are the timelines mentioned in the 2024 corporate presentation still on track, especially the green hydrogen and hybrid renewable projects? And are financial negotiations taking place with lenders and investors?
So the last quarter was very, very important for the green hydrogen project, because we have progressed very quickly and made a lot of advancements with respect to the investigative work for the green hydrogen and renewable power projects in Jampir, Sindh. We completed the environmental studies, we finished the geotechnical studies, we have also launched and completed, but we haven't yet finalized, so it's in the final stages, the interconnection and transmission studies, which were financed by State Grid Corporation of China. So we've made a lot of progress on the green hydrogen part as well as the renewable part. And to answer the question that are we negotiating with lenders and investors, we are actually most importantly negotiating with the buyers, which is key. And I mean, just to clarify, unless there is a buyback, you don't get investors and you don't get financiers. That is extremely important for any financial model to actually even look viable. So the most important part of our projects, both for the green hydrogen and green ammonia molecule side, as well as renewable power, is buyback arrangements. And I can say that we are very advanced, and hopefully we should be able to update the market soon of progress, which would then immediately lead to financing agreements being completed.
You mentioned again and again shareholder value will be realized soon. We have since advanced GH, Northern Zone, and now the Blue Rock projects. Realistically, when will shareholder value be realized, and what could the value be?
Well, I hope soon means today, because, as I keep saying, I have skin in the game as well. So I have to, sort of believe and hope and work, most importantly, towards realizing that value. And that's what we're all committed to doing. And I have said this earlier, that as soon as one of our projects, and the Northern Zone project, for example, is very close to now reaching that end, which would mean a beneficial partnership, a joint venture, or an exit, which would give premium to us with respect to our investments, and that would immediately translate to I think realizing a higher value for ourselves and for all the shareholders, and that's what we're counting on. As soon as something similar happens to the renewable/green hydrogen project, I think we would see an even bigger evaluation, because that's a much bigger project. And the Blue Rock has such tremendous potential that we believe that as soon as we can make some good progress and show the potential to the market for the copper project, the value should actually also start to reflect on that front as well. So because it's a platform of different projects, we believe that the risk is mitigated, and sooner or later, more than one and then the second will start to, let's say, check the boxes, and the value will start to reflect on the platform. So that's what we are counting on, and that's what we're committed to delivering.
Oracle's share price is currently at its lowest, and it's hard to digest all the ongoing projects combined and not being reflected in the share price. This may be because we are not yet generating cash. Can you provide a time frame when we are likely to become cash generative from one or a couple of the projects?
I won't be able to provide a firm timeline to that. So let's say short to medium term, and certainly is not a long-term goal for us at all. It is a short to medium term target that we are working towards achieving. And of course, we appreciate that the price is low, and the fact that the shareholders have to be patient, and they are still supporting us, for which we are very grateful. And yes, to answer the first part of this, that why is the price not reflected, etc. I mean, one has to look at the history of this company slightly, that it was a single project, single jurisdiction company for the longest time. It's only been 2-3 years since we've diversified the platform, and we have invested in other resources and in other jurisdictions. And we have now a firm strategy which is looking to be successful, especially with the Northern Zone coming online, that we are a platform of different projects working in different jurisdictions in the natural resource and energy sector generally. So once the success from any one of these projects hits, then I believe that the price will also automatically increase much more. In fact, the people do, there is a constant advancement, very fast-paced advancement in a number of these projects that we have, and which in itself shows that there is belief, but we just need to, have that first success, which we have already in some form after the Northern Zone, after the partnership that we found there through a farm-in, which hopefully leads to a joint venture. I think once one or more of these start to realize, there would be a significant increase in share value, hopefully.
Are you likely to raise finance again before cash is realized from one or any of the other projects?
In the natural resource sector, whereby we do exploratory work, investigative work, etc., we have to keep investing monies which are small in comparison to the expected returns. So the cash returns, when they do come in, hopefully soon in the future, we will, that should be then returned to the shareholders in the form of a higher value, a higher valuation of the company, and that would sort of be the return that they're after. Meanwhile, in order to continue the investigative and exploratory work, when we do require funding, we need to make sure that we are able to continue investing in order to deliver the returns that we're after. So I can't say when, but I can certainly say that the returns from the project are expected, from more than one of the projects are expected in the near future.
Have there been any discussions or are there any plans to explore a joint venture or the sale of one of the projects to generate funds for other initiatives or to distribute dividends to shareholders?
The first part of the question, the answer is yes. That is our strategy, and we are continuously exploring the right partnerships and the right joint ventures because that's the way we operate. We cannot, as a small company, we can't raise billions of dollars. So we do work with larger companies, and Spade Grid Corporation of China, for example, is the third largest company in the world. They work very closely with us. They're already investing monies in the investigative work. Now, the question is that if we have de-risked the project sufficiently, then do they invest in the development of the project, i.e. the construction of the project through equity? So if we can manage to do that, we are home. And then, we are a very successful platform if we manage to bring on these larger companies to come in and invest in the actual construction of the projects. And that's a joint venture that we are looking at. And the answer to that question is yes, most certainly. That's what we're after. And we will update the market as soon as we have some positive news in that regard. To answer the second part, to distribute dividends, that too is something that we have considered. And as soon as we have a sort of a clear timeline with respect to when we expect the returns, we will look at this more closely.
Why doesn't the Sheikh put more money into the company instead of Oracle diluting the ordinary shareholders?
The Sheikh is putting more money into the green hydrogen project. In fact, just last month, he's invested more money into the green hydrogen project in Pakistan. And otherwise, how do we are only putting in 30% into this, multi-billion-dollar project development exercise that we're doing, which is a green hydrogen, green ammonia, and renewable power project, 1.3 megawatts of renewable power and 55,000 tons of green hydrogen, 260 to 70,000 tons of green ammonia is a huge undertaking. He's investing a lot of his money. And to repeat, we are just investing 30% of what it takes to de-risk a large project like this. So his money is coming in, and it's coming in constantly, but he has sort of taken to explore the development of this project directly, and that's where his money is coming in at this point in time. And we are very, very grateful to him for his continued support in that regard.
Why haven't directors bought shares in the company over the last 24 months on the open market?
So we did have a program, a director share purchase program in place for more than a year. And then all the directors have shareholdings. They keep their shares with different brokers, etc. And then this is an administrative sort of exercise more than anything else. And the broker that we had engaged to do this for us changed hands, and it sort of became something else. And then we haven't, after that, been able to find the right administrator to actually do this. And the price that we got from another broker to actually carry this out, this direct share repo, because remember that we get permissions to do this once in a year, and then it's not repeated every time. So there's an administrative and regulatory process that needs to be followed. So the price that we were quoted was very high. In fact, it was so high that it was really not fruitful as a company to put that money in, because obviously the company would have to pay for that in order for the directors to buy the shares. And with that, we are we have this on our agenda that before the end of this year, hopefully find another broker or another sort of administrator to actually conduct this for us at a reasonable price. So that is the only reason why directors are not buying the shares again. And as soon as we are able to form the right engagement, we will re-enter this exercise.
Finally, at the time of leaving the company, what was the percentage of shares held by Mark Steed?
I believe it was 0.3% or close to that, like less than 0.3% approximately.
Naheed Memon, CEO at Oracle Power, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Zach.